Um, Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Cynthia, Mrs. Mukanya. Yeah, so on today's video, I'll be telling you a story, guys, on how I came to South Africa. When I came to South Africa, I was 14 years old. It was not my first time coming to South Africa, but on this story, going to tell you a story about how I came to South Africa, because on this part that I came when I was 14 years old, I came alone. So I came alone when I was 14. So guys, I still remember I didn't have money for school fees. And my mom had to buy some stock some clothes here in South Africa, and then she did send me the money to sell those clothes back in Zimbabwe. And then I sold those clothes that she sent because she didn't have money. So she did send me some clothes to sell, and then I sold those clothes, and then I had like I think it was $20. No, it was $25. And then my aunt, the one that I was staying with so far, she borrowed $5. She borrowed $10 from the money that my mom did send me, and then I gave her the $10. But you know, when a parent, because she was my parent back then, may her soul rest in peace, because she actually lost her life I think 1 or 2 years back. So yeah, we always remember her. She was a very good woman. So you know, when a parent borrows you money, there's no way you would go and say, Mama, can you give me that money? It's so hard. And I had to use that money for bus to come to SA. And mind you, I did not have passport. I did not have any papers, guys, and I was only 14. I think it was grade 8. Yeah, grade 8, it was form 1. And then I took the money. Which means I was left with $15. And then I remember waking up early in the morning. I started bathing. I was so excited because my mom was here. I started bathing. I was so excited. And then I wore nice black tights. I still remember the outfit that I was wearing. I was wearing nice black tights, a nice mini dress, and then a jacket, and then some boots. They were all new clothes my mom sent me. And then, excuse me, I wore those nice clothes, and then I only had like a satchel, school bag. And then yeah, I did my goodbyes. I did my goodbyes to my friends, my family, and then some other people that were around that knew me. And then yeah, I started walking. I was going to the rank. I went to the rank, and then there was a combi. Yeah, there was a combi. When I say a rank, yeah, you know, almost a taxi place. And then a taxi rank, yeah. And then I saw a combi. A quantum, call it quantum, a combi. And then the combi, they were saying, and mind you, I did not have a phone, guys. I did not have any phone. I only had like a piece of paper. That piece of paper had my mom's numbers, SA numbers. I did not even have airtime or anything. I only had that piece of number with my mom's numbers. So I got a combi at the taxi rank, and then at the combi they were saying, Bedbridge. And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, so if people are going to SA, of course they had to get a bus or a combi to Bedbridge. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to Bedbridge. And then they were like, you're going alone? And I was like, yeah, I'm going alone. Mind you, I only had $15, 10 and $5, 15. I got into the combi, and then the combi started going. We drove, and then we reached Beatty Bridge. It was late when we reached Beatty Bridge. It was around it was going, yeah, it was around to 6 p.m. And then we reached there, and then the combi was $10. I paid $10 in the combi, and then I was left with $5. And mind you guys, I'm still in Beitbridge. I still need to go to SA, and I only had $5. So when I get off, everyone was just getting off, going where they are going, and me, I don't even know I'm going. I just got off and I was like, driver, are you leaving us here? And then the driver was like, yeah, where are you going? And I was like, I'm going to SA. And then they were like, who are you with? I was like, I'm alone. Do you have any contact, anything? And then I gave them my mom's numbers, and the driver was so nice, and then he called my mom, and my mom was like, please help that child reach here. I don't know how you're going to do it. Maybe you're going to get some guys which help people to reach the side and what. And then please, I'll be doing pay forward. I'll pay immediately when she gets here. Wara. And the guys were like, okay, we'll take care of everything. We'll be talking to you. And then that guy was the one he gave me back the paper with my mom's numbers. I took the paper and I put it back in my pocket. I was so wise not to put the paper inside the bag. It was in my pocket, in my jacket pocket. And then I put the paper inside the jacket pocket. And then the guys were like, okay, we know this guy who stays there by the corner. This guy takes people to SA using his own bakkie and all that. His own van. So we knew we would be going with that guy. So let's go to his house. And I don't know why I was not scared to go with these people. When I feel a danger, I sense it, and then I feel it, and then I tell myself, no, don't go. But that time I was not even feeling anything. I was like, okay, fine. I was trusting those guys. I don't know why. And then we went to that place, and then we don't make noise. We went to that man's place, and the man was like, okay, so this is the girl. Yeah. Okay, did you talk to the mother? Give me the number. The mother's number. The guy called my mom, and he was like, oh, I have your daughter here. Some guys came with your daughter. You want me to take your daughter bring your daughter to SA, whatever. My mom was like, yeah, please do that, and I'll pay you as soon as you get here with my daughter, what. And the guy was like, okay, we'll take off everything. And then my mom was like, okay, fine. Cynthia, don't be scared. Everything's gonna go fine. Those people, they know what they are doing. They will cross with you nicely, whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. And then we went to the guy's place. We stayed there for 3 days because he was waiting for his car to be full, which means he was waiting for more people to come. There's no way that he was going to travel with only 5 people. So he was waiting for people to be maybe 15, 16, and then we will go. So in 3 days, his car was full. So that everyone was just there, and then, yeah. And then he was like, guys, we need to bath and be ready. Tomorrow morning we are leaving. And I was like, finally, I'll be in SA. I'll be seeing my mom. Guys. And then we bathed. We wore nice. And then I remember I took my jacket, and then I checked my mom's number. It was still there. I wore, and I only have $5. Don't forget. I still have the $5. And then I still had the $5, and then I wore my jacket with my number inside with my $5 also inside. I took my bag, and then the man was like, no, leave your bags. Your bags will come with another car. And I was like, why are we leaving our bags? And he was like, no, where we are going, you won't be carrying bags. Even if you take it, you will leave it in there. You won't be carrying any bags. So just leave the bags, and then the bags, you meet them on the other side. Mind you, I still don't understand what the guys were talking. But then, okay, I just said to obey the rules. I left my bag, and then we went, and then I remember we were getting inside a bakkie, that minivan of his. I just remember the car was just driving Mudondo inside the forest. It was just going. And I was like, why are we driving inside the forest? Don't we have roads to go to SA? And then I remember seeing a dam. I remember seeing a dam full of water, guys. Like, this dam was just full of water. Water was like, wow, it was just running. And in my mind, I'm like, are they trying to tell us that we're going to cross? And the guys were like, don't make noise. If you make noise, the soldiers are going to catch you and they're going to kill you. Don't make noise. And then we were like, okay. And then they were like, you need to take off your shoes, your clothes. Ladies, you're going to be left with bras and pants. And then you guys are going to be left with only shorts. Hey! And at that time, I don't even have a bra. I didn't even have breasts. I had like small like sweets, like orange, small tomatoes. And then I removed my, I was wearing my skirt. I didn't even remove my, I was wearing my skirt, and then I removed my shirt. And then I took like a little dook, that dook and then I wrapped it on my breast, and then I just tied it. And then the dook that someone gave it to me, this other lady, this other mama, she gave me the dook, and then she tied my breast, and then and then we had like band, big stick, like a 3 big stick. So on that stick, it was like this. It's a stick, ne? And then on this stick, there were like ropes, like rope number 1, rope number 2, rope number 3, rope number 4. The ropes were tied to the tree, like 1 rope, 2 rope, 3 rope, like the very, very strong ropes. So like they told us that each one of you have to stand next to a rope, and then you need to hold it like this. Like maybe someone on this side, another on this side, and then we were holding the rope. Let's say 3 people here, 3 people here, 3 people here, 3 people here. Yeah, we were umanga kabata raki tambo yake rope, but dandarangari one. The stick was only 1, but each and every person was holding the rope. And then we started getting inside the water. I don't even know how to swim, guys. We were in the water, and then we started getting inside the water. The water was up here. Like I could drink some. As we were walking, like I would like walk, and then I would jump, and then I would walk, and then I would jump, and then I would walk, and then I would jump. Guys, I remember when we were at the edge of the river, when we were done crossing, there were guys there by the other side. They were pulling us like from the water, pulling us out of the water, and then pulling the next one at the edge where we had reached. I had to answer the call. My best friend was calling me. So guys, as they were pulling us out of the water, you could see crocodiles. Guys, you could see crocodiles, and the only thing you would think in your mind is like, my family won't see me. They're just going to see bones. They won't even receive the bones. They'll just hear a message saying your child was eaten by a crocodile, and that's it. But because we were praying, if I tell you that when I was crossing the river, the only words that I was saying in my mind were like, Jesus, 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 until I crossed the river. So when you crossed the river, of course there was a car. You remember that car? We left our bags inside. Yeah, it was waiting for us on the other side. And then we went inside that car, and then that car drove. There's like a dusty road. That car drove and drove. Every way we were meeting police. There were police every way, but you just have to give them like 100,000, 500 rands, and then you just pass. Police, they do that. They do that. So I remember we were at Messina Mall. At the mall, they bought us like fagumoya, that bread which is not sliced. Yeah. they bought us fakumoya, those breads, and then with 2-liter cokes, fantas, and everything. You had to share two. You were eating one loaf, two people with your 2-liter, two people, and then we ate. I remember vomiting, like I vomited very, very bad. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was so hungry for a long time, or it was the driving, or the long distance, or it's the water, or I don't know. Maybe it's the sickness that I catched when I was busy swimming there, drowning with the crocodiles coming here. So yeah, I vomited very, very bad, and then I started having a serious bad headache, and then they gave me painkillers, and then I drank, and then I was feeling better. And then we went back into the van. It was late, around 7 o'clock, and then went back into the van, and then the van started driving and driving, and then as the van was driving, we saw one van, a police van. It was behind us, and then it was driving. So it was driving so fast, and then they stopped us. They were like, "You're not going anywhere. Everyone without a passport here, come down." And then we were down. We came out of the van, and then the police were like counting us: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. You don't have passports, so I want 200 each person, and I don't even have money. I only had like $5, and then I took out my $5, and then the police took it. And then they were like, "You stand there." And then they took all of us into the police van, because the driver didn't have such money, that kind of money. He didn't have that money. He didn't have money, or he had the money, but the way he was telling the police, he said he didn't have the money. So the police had no choice than to take all of us, and then they took us into custody. We were into this big cell with stinky blankets, dirty blankets, itchy. It was itchy. There were so many insects, biting, mosquitoes, and all that. Ugh, it was terrible. I remember in the evening they gave us like 4 slices of bread, this horrible brown bread with the juice. The juice is like, I don't know, but the juice was just sour. It was just, I don't know. And then we were eating those things, and then I couldn't eat because of the sickness that I caught when I was swimming with the crocodiles. So I couldn't eat. And then early in the morning, a social worker came, and then the social worker was like, "I heard there's a 14-year child here who's traveling alone. Please come." And then I went to the social workers, and then they were like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm going to my mom." "Where's your mom?" "My mom is in Pretoria." "Okay, do you have your mom's numbers?" I gave them that paper. You remember that piece of paper that I had? Yeah. Then they called my mom, and they were like, "Okay, we took Cynthia outside of the custody, and then we're taking her to a children's home here in Messina, and then you can come fetch her there if you can." And then my mom was like, "Okay, I'm sick right now, so I'll find someone who can come there and fetch Cynthia, someone with papers," because my mom didn't have passport, so she had to look for someone who has enough papers, someone who can come and fetch me. And then I went to the children's home. I stayed there for like a week in the children's home. Yeah, they gave me like clothes, toiletries, and everything. We're going to church every day for Bible study and all that. I stayed there, like I was actually enjoying the place, getting to know other kids. And then at first, my mom did send her friend to fetch me. And then they called 2 policemen, and then they were like, "Okay, so Cynthia's mom did send her friend, this one, to come and fetch her, and she also brought some clothes for Cynthia to wear for the road." And then the police were like, "Cynthia, do you want to go with this woman? Do you know her?" And I was like, "No, I don't know this woman. I'm not going with her." And the woman was like, "Cynthia, I'm your mom's friend. See, I have a picture with your mom. Your mom did send me right now." And I was like, hell to the no, I'm not going with my mom's friend. I can't risk my life like that. I was so clever, guys. And then they were like, "So do you want the clothes that she brought for you?" And I was like, "The clothes, hell yes. Leave the clothes and go." And then she left the clothes, and then she went back to Pretoria, and she informed my mom that no, Cynthia didn't believe me, she couldn't come with me because she didn't want to. She didn't feel safe at all. And then after 2 days, my mom did send her my nini wangu, my aunt, my mom's little sister. She came, and then I saw her. And then the first thing I saw when I saw her, I was like, why are you white? Why are you yellow born? What's happening in South Africa? What are you guys eating in South Africa? Why are you so yellow? And then I remember seeing my aunt, and then I was so happy to see her, guys. Like, I was so happy to see her. And then I did bath, wear my nice clothes, and then they did some papers at the police and all that, and at the children's home they did release papers and all that. And then the police wrote, they did an affidavit for me to for the road. Like, if maybe we meet police officers, they'll be like, where's her passport? And then she'll just take a paper and like, I just took it from my children's home, this is the papers, and then all that. So I traveled nicely from there, went straight to Pretoria, and then my aunt was actually staying in Sunnyside, and she was actually staying at an F&B flat. I was like, oh my god, South Africa is so nice. Look at those flats. Look at those big flats. And then I remember when we got off a taxi, my aunt bought a KFC, and then she gave me 2-piece. And then when I was eating the meat, it was so nice. But then when I dug inside, all I would see was blood inside that meat, and I was like, help, I don't know, I'm not even eating this meat again. It's horrible. It's not even cooked enough. It's not enough. It's cooked. It's not enoughly cooked. And then my aunt was like laughing at me like, you are so stupid. I was like, no, the meat is not really cooked. It is uncooked. And then I gave her back her meat. And then I remember when we first walked into my aunt's flat, I was so scared of the lift, because I went inside the lift, and then I was like touching the walls, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm falling. Oh my god, I'm feeling this. I want to vomit. My aunt was just laughing. I was thinking I was so stupid. And then I remember when she was living, I'm sure she was staying at the 12th floor. At the 12th floor. And then I was looking down, and I was like, oh my god, how do you guys survive living in a place like this? I could never. And then we went, and then she opened the door, and then I saw my mom sitting there by the sofa, and like, you could see, man, she was sick. Oh god. Unfortunately, I lost her in 2018. When I went there, I'm sure it was I don't know if it was 2010 or 2011, 12. I don't remember at all. But it was that time of World Cup. I don't know if it was 2010 or 2011, 12. I don't remember. But then I saw my mom, I saw my little brother. We were so happy. It was towards December. It was towards Christmas. And then I remember we celebrated our Christmas at my aunt's place. And then after Christmas, and then we went to my mom's place where she was staying. My mom was staying in Eastras. And then we went home, and then we had like a lovely New Year's Eve. And then that's my story, guys. Thank you for watching, guys, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. I really hope and pray that you guys will subscribe, and then, because I'm really looking forward to get more subscribers and more stories coming, because guys, my life is a whole lot of movie. I have so many stories for you guys. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Catch you on the next story, part 2. Bye.